Okay, we come to a very, very important aspect of judging a Saturn called murthy nirnaya. When Saturn, I'll tell you before, see when any planet, I'll give you the general rule and for Saturn. When any planet transits a particular sign, you will have to find out where is moon placed. Depending on where moon is placed on the day of transit, the meaning of the transit will change. So in case if moon is in the 1-6-11, it's called Swarnamurti. Moon is in 2-5-11, it's called Rajatamurti. If moon is in 3-7-10, it's called Tamramurti. Moon is in 4-8-12 for Janmamurti, Lohamurti. The order is for benefics. Swarnamurti is good, Rajatamurti is medium, Tamramurti is okay, and Lohamurti is bad. Exactly, it is opposite for malefics. You don't apply the same rule for malefics. Saturn is a malefic. So Swarnamurti is bad. Rajatamurti is very, very good. Tamramurti is 75% auspicious. Lohamurti is 50% auspicious. So Saturn as Swarnamurti is not auspicious. Saturn as Rajatamurti is very beneficial. Saturn as Tamramurti is very good. Saturn as Lohamurti gives good results. So accordingly, Saturn is generally moving to signs for Taurus, Libra, and Capricorn moons, and strongly affects these signs. I'll give you the effect here. See.
So this was the Panothi yoga I asked about, I think, earlier.
Yes,
Same thing.
Yes. That's what
I have one question, if that's okay, because one thing that doesn't seem to be documented anywhere. If Saturn goes retrograde out of the sign and back, do you recalculate it?
Yes, you have to recalculate. Yes.
Okay, you don't use the original one, you recalculate it. No, you don't use.
You can. Okay. Yeah. Where it is at that time, you'll have to take the results.
Thank you.
So for Aries moon, so it is Sadesati, but it's Lohamurti. So Sadesati is greatly reduced for Aries. Anybody who's Aries, Saturn is it is Lohamurti, so it is greatly reduced. For Taurus, it is in the 11th house. So, but it is Swarnamurti, so the beneficence is a bit reduced. For Gemini moon, it is Tamramurti, so it is in the 10th house and it is a good Murti, so it is auspicious. For Cancer, I've given the color accordingly. Blue is negative, green is good, and red is bad. For Cancer moon, it's Rajatamurti, so negative. Generally, it's a bad transit, but negativity is greatly reduced. Leo moon, it is in the 8th and it is Lohamurti. It is Ashtamasani, but because it is Lohamurti, the negativity is reduced by half. So what I say, people who are thinking Ashtamasani for Leo, because Lohamurti, it's only 50% negative. Virgo moon in the 7th is Tamramurti. Negativity is slightly reduced. In Libra moon in the 6th in Swarnamurti, the beneficial is, it is not good to have a Swarnamurti. So Libra moons, though in the 6th, you have the beneficence reduced. Scorpio moon in the 5th is Rajatamurti. Negativity is not felt because it is a Rajatamurti. Sagittarius moon in the 4th is Lohamurti. Negative is experienced in 50%. Or 50% negativity is reduced. Capricorn moon, it is supposed to be good. Tamramurti. Beneficial is experienced 75%. Aquarius moon in the 2nd is Rajatamurti. Negativity is not experienced usually. So all Aquarius moons you can be because of the Rajatamurti, Saturn in the 2nd, you're not going to feel the negativity. Pisces moon is in the 1st, so it is already Janmasani and it is in Swarnamurti. So negativity is strongly going to be experienced for Pisces moon as far as the Murthy Nirnaya is concerned. Anybody has any doubts on the Murthy Nirnaya? You can ask me. So you'll understand what I'm saying, no?
I
So this
here Aries will be 2nd house, not 12th.
Which one, ma'am?
Will change respectively. So
where, ma'am?
Aries, moon in the 12th.
No, not moon in the 12th, Saturn in the 12th.
Acha, Saturn in the 12th.
Oh.
So everywhere I have to take Saturn instead of
Saturn. Yeah, Saturn.
Okay, then makes sense. Yes, thank you.
No,
sorry.
No, not that way, man. What the meaning is, for Aries, today when Saturn is transiting, is in the 12th house.
Moon is in the Aries, for them, Saturn is in the 12th.
No, ma'am. Moon, when Saturn is transiting, where is Moon? Moon is in Revati. So for Aries birth moon, where is Moon? In the 12th house, right?
So transit moon, you are saying, no?
Transit moon, or when Saturn is changing, where is the moon?
Transit moon.
Transit,
Right.
not your birth moon.
Okay.
Transit
So-
moon, it is in Revati. When Saturn changes, Saturn is in Revati. So for Aries people, where is the moon? In the 12th.
12,
For
12,
Taurus people, moon in the 11th. For Gemini moon, it is in the 10th. You understand? For Cancer moon, it is in the 9th. For Leo moon, it's in the 8th. Okay. So the effect of Saturn's transit, when Saturn is changing, where is the moon on that day? From one's birth moon, you will have to take. That will give, that is the meaning of murthy nirnaya. And it's the rule, good or bad, changes for benefics. It's a different rule. For malefics, it's a different rule. Okay. So
everywhere I've seen, it always says loha is worse than gold, but you're saying it's not. Gold is worse, is it?
That is for benefics.
Ah, okay.
So there is a rule different for, because what you say, you have to understand it completely. Gold is the best, Swarna, silver, copper, and iron. For benefics, it's a good rule. The whole rule is reversed when it's for malefics. Okay. So this is a very, very important. Usually classics, when we say, we'll always, when transit, it is always judged. Even when there is a rule called sun, where when sun transits in new sign, what is the day lord and where is moon? There is, in fact, there is one more particular. You want to know how this month is there for you. Where is your Janma Nakshatra happening on which day will mean how is this month going to be. Or when Saturn, there is a Shankaramana or Shankaranti happening, which day the Shankaranti happens will depend on how that month is going to be. The same way when Saturn transits a particular sign, where is that transit moon that is on the day of Saturn transit from your birth moon will mean how that Saturn, even wherever Saturn goes, does not matter. It can go to the 6, 8, 12 houses. If your moon alone is well placed, it will change. And again, there is a lot of what is untold this year is what is the strength of the moon, the moon's association, all can mean a lot. So usually in a transit, if moon is exalted, moon is in own sign, moon is in Shukla Paksha, moon is well, then the muhurti's quantum will be different. Today's the quantum of murti is, it is in what is in Pratipada. Almost the moon has no digits. Its moon is already, I think moon is just left the Amavasya. So there's still like Amavasya only. So for malefics, it's good. For a benefic like Jupiter transiting in this way with moon with no digits, it's never good. But for Saturn, it in Pratipada. In fact, I think about 5 o'clock Pratipada starts, approximately 5 o'clock. I just checked. So immediately after a few hours after that, Saturn is changing. Then Lunar New Year and it's transiting. And previous to that, many parts of the world, I think it's a solar eclipse. A solar eclipse, a new year, and followed by it is a transit. So something very significant. And whenever it is in the 12th house in Pisces, it is absolutely, what I say, it is just letting go of the old. We are moving into a new dimension, to a new phase in life. That's what I think. As long as Jupiter is not afflicted when Saturn is there, when Saturn transit is bad and a bad sign, maybe in Sun's house, Moon's house, or Mars's house, and Jupiter is in 6, 8 from Saturn, then it is bad. Or half the time Saturn is conjoined with Mars, then it can be, or it's conjoined with Rahu Ketu. The only thing here it is Saturn and Saturn and Rahu are meeting each other. When Saturn is moving, Rahu and Saturn are crossing each other. That's a very beautiful thing. In fact, looks like the father moves to Pisces and waits for Saturn to come. Yes, please, son, come. I think it happened in Capricorn. So the father invites son into the house and then he moves away. And Rahu comes down and greets him and crosses over and goes. So this is a very beautiful thing happening in this transit. So I don't think this is going to be a very big transit, as long as the only thing everybody thinks it is negative is because Jupiter is going to go into Adichara. Saturn moved Adichara for 2-3 months. It will be Adichara, and the new year starts with Leo ascendant in Saturn's Hora, and most of the planets are in the 5th house. But again, as far as India is concerned, these 5 planets transit is in the 9th from the moon and 11th from Lagna. So many people think it's going to be a change of position because the new year Lagna is starting in Simha Lagna. The lunar new year, now tomorrow it is starting in Simha Lagna. So all the planets in the 5th house on Saturday, it is in the 8th house. But as far as India is concerned, it is in the 11th house. So
The moon is transiting like on 29 moon will be in Revati Nakshatra.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
so it means that will be a Swarna Murti, right?
Yes, it is Swarnamurti. Yes. Yeah, I've given you, Swarnamurti. 1-6-11 from Janma Rasi, it is Swarnamurti.
So it's in general for everybody, it's not good, or only
If the moon, if your moon is, let's say you're a Pisces moon, if you are a Libra moon, if you are a Taurus moon, it is Swarnamurti. And Swarnamurti is good for benefics. For malefics, it is not good. It is only 25% good. The same rule is opposite for benefics. It's 100% good. Okay. So the rule changes exactly opposite for a benefic and a malefic. You can't apply the Murti rule. For a benefic, it's a different rule. For a malefic, it is a different rule. So, it is Swarnamurti. So people assume without understanding the full rule, Swarnamurti. So all for people with Pisces, Libra and Taurus moons, it is Swarnamurti, it's great. No, for Saturn, it is only 25%. Swarnamurti is opposite. It is only Rajata Murti which is auspicious for a malefic, not Swarna. Okay, so this is a very, very important concept. Apart from the other rules, the Murti Nirnaya, you will have to understand. This matters a lot where your moon is. Again, understand the quantum of moon. Even the Murti Nirnaya, moon is in Pisces sign with exalted Venus, with Mercury, with Sun in Pratipada, in Revati Nakshatra. All that you will have, if you have to understand the Murti in all its ramifications. If it is an exalted moon in Purnima, and the Murti Nirnaya is a different meaning, moon with no digits, it has a different meaning. So in Krishna Paksha, it is good for malefics. In Shukla Paksha, moon very strong, it is good for benefics. Okay. Okay, now we'll come to the last part of the thing. We understood Nakshatra, we understood Murti. Now we'll come to the Pada. So each Saturn in Pisces moves in 9 padas. So in Purvabhadra, in 4th pada, it is Cancer Navamsa. So how you will have to understand this. I'll just give this example for Sagittarius moon. So it is you have to keep your moon sign as base. Whatever is your moon sign, don't change it to Navam. Don't now go and see where is my Navamsa moon. You don't see. It is Rasi Tulya Navamsa. Rasi Tulya Navamsa means whatever is your moon sign, keep it. But the Navamsa which Saturn moves alone, move. So when Saturn is in Purvabhadra, for example, Sagittarius moon, it is 8th house. When Saturn is in Uttarabhadra, 1st pada, Leo Navamsa, it is 9th house. Saturn in Uttarabhadra pada, 2nd pada, Virgo Navamsa, it is 10th. So it goes 11th, 12th, Janma, 2nd house, 3rd house. But remember, it is in the 4th house. From the 4th house, it goes into 9 variations. So you will have to, so Saturn in each pada, the meaning will change. And you will have to read it from the Rasi moon. Okay, you understand it clearly now? What I'm saying? Anybody has any doubts on this? A very, very important aspect of understanding the position. So it can be extremely very bad when it is in the 8th house in D1 and D9. Or it is in 6, 8, 12 in both houses, then it can be bad. So you can say Saturn is extremely very bad. It can be in sometimes in Ashtamasani, but it can be in the 11th house in the Navamsa. Okay, this is very important to understand the Navamsa pada. Many people are because confuse this Navamsa pada. So keep the D1 moon as fixed and see where. So you have 9 kinds of Saturn's movement. So basically it is in the 4th house. In the 4th house, it goes into 9 variations. There are 3 nakshatras first with the Tarabala. So there are for Sagittarius moons, there are 3 nakshatra. It can be Mula, Purvashada and Uttarashada. So the Tarabala will change. Yeah, but it's going to be 4th house fully. But there are 3 different Tarabalas and 9 different and Navamsa padas. So you see the variations, how Saturn's transit. But mostly it will give the 4th house results in 3 nakshatra padas, and it will give a 9 different. Where it goes from the padas, it will give a different. But basically, it is going to be 4th house related and depends on what is the Lagna. We'll have to take the Lagna into account, and then what is the planet in sitting in Pisces also will matter. Okay, so we will move to. Okay, I've given you the date of when Saturn is moving to. So Saturn entering in Purvabhadra 4th pada, 29th March. Then first pada 20th April, second pada Virgo Navamsa 7th June. Here it gets retrograde. So second pada, first pada, so it comes back again. Saturn turns direct in Purva pada, fourth pada. So different variations, Saturn entering 9 padas in see, it goes back. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 padas. Saturn moves in 13 padas in this one sign. 13 padas Saturn moves. So 13 types of predictions are there for one Rasi. In that you have to see 3 nakshatras. What is the Tarabala? And where is Saturn from the Lagna and the moon and the strength of only then you can come to an understanding how is Saturn for you. You simply cannot say for Aries is this, and then you have to see the murthy nirnaya. You can simply not say for this sign it is bad, that sign it is bad, this sign it is good. Without, you have to understand with all this, only then you will understand. Let's see one example horoscope. Okay, this, sorry, I forgot, it is not 13. So you have 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 variations. I forgot to this. 21 variations. It goes ups and downs, and it moves into 21 padas. Saturn moves in 21 padas. In one sign it moves. See how much it can change. In 2.5 years, 21 padas Saturn moves. So let's say for Donald Trump's horoscope, I'm giving an example of say, okay, keep this in. Where is this Saturn moving? Saturn is moving to, okay, what's this thing? Murthy. Virchiga Rasi. So Saturn, it is in the 5th house. It is Rajata Murthy. Okay. Okay, he is Scorpio. So it is moving to the 5th house. It is 100% auspicious. So as far as he is concerned, 100% is auspicious. Now he is Jyeshta Nakshatra. So if he is Jyeshta Nakshatra, what is the effect for it? What is the effect? Tarabala effect. When Saturn moves to the Purabhadra, Uttarabhadra, Revati, there are 3 different effects it will move. So it is the 8th Tara, it is the 9th Tarabala, it is Anujanma. It is good in the in Purabhadra, it is good in the 9th. In Revati alone, it is Anujanma. Okay. Now we will go to the Navamsa. So in the first pada, where is Saturn going? Saturn is going immediately into Cancer. See, he has where you have to look at. Don't go into the Navamsa. Okay, this is why I want to show an example. In Rasi chart, what is the house? It is the 12th house with Saturn and Venus, and in Navamsa, it is also Saturn and Venus. So Saturn will give the effect of Saturn and Venus in D1 and D9. Next, when Saturn moves to Leo Navamsa, it is Lagna with Mars, and in Navamsa is Jupiter. The mix, it is 10th house from the moon. It will give the effect of the Mars and Ascendant. Predominantly, it's the Rasi, not the Navamsa position. Forget about the Navamsa position, only mild. So don't go to the Navamsa and see the planetary positions. See the Pada in the Rasi chart itself. So here Saturn will be coming over his natal Mars and Ascendant. When it goes down, it comes to the 2nd house where Jupiter is there. Here it will be 8th, it is going to be in the 3rd house. Here it will be on his Janma. There it will be in the 2nd house. Here it will be in the 3rd, 4th, 5th. So you have about 9 variations. You can take the Navamsa position also, but predominantly the Navamsa position is only secondary. The Rasi position only very, very important. And when it moves over one house, you can also look into the trine. When it moves over Mars, you can look into the trine. When it moves over a particular house, that house and the trine. But the trinal planet, you don't worry too much. On it only is very, very important. Okay. Any doubts on this? See, this is how you see Saturn transit. So don't worry about anybody giving any other session about, yes, this is Saturn transit's effect. You have to go through all this. You need to know astrology very nicely to understand just one Saturn transit. Okay. Or, okay, you want to go a little more deeper. You want to understand the Varga related aspect. You can take it like his moon is in Pisces. So you can Saturn is coming over his moon in Pisces. In Trekana, it is coming to the 9th house. In Chaturdamsa, it is coming to the 8th house. In Saptamsa, it is coming to the 5th house. In Dasamsa, it is coming to the 12th house. So in Dasamsa, it is Adesati. So professional tensions will be there. So this is how you look at the Vargachas. Anybody has any doubts, you can ask me. We'll go to remedial measures. This is a very, very important. So ask me correctly. Very, very important aspect of Saturn. Saturn is what is a transit is incomplete through the rasis, through the nakshatras, Tarabala, then through the 9 padas seen in the Rasi chart, not in the Navamsa. Navamsa is just, you look at the Navamsa also, this can have an effect. Predominantly, the padas in the Rasi chart only is going to have effect. So it is going to go on his 5th house. Where is his Jupiter? First, it will be good because Jupiter is in the 11th house. Is the Jupiter's Lord. Mostly this transit will be good because Jupiter is in the is aspecting the house and in the 2nd house. So Saturn will not be bad. But in certain Navamsas, it can be. It will be in the 12th house over Saturn, Venus. Then it will be over Mars, he'll feel opposition. Here it will be very good. Here it will be in the 12th, not very good. Here over Moon and Ketu, it can be very, very bad. Or these houses, depends on the aspects, you can judge these houses, how it is going to. So accordingly, you can see overall, generally, it is 5th house, 8th from the Lagna, but Jupiter is aspecting the house. So it has a Marga concept also. 8th Lord aspect in the 8th house and Saturn transit as so it is not that in certain signs it can give especially understands when Saturn is in Uttarabhadra 3rd pada, it is Ashtamamsa. So when transit in Navamsa, it moves 6, 8, 12 from itself. Saturn will not give very good results. So this sign for everybody, it's going to be Ashtamamsa and depends on what it is in your birth chart. Will have Saturn in 6, 8, 12 from your birth chart can be. For him, Saturn is in the 9th. Saturn is 5th from the Moon, 8th from Lagna, and 9th from Saturn. It is into the 8th house. It is going to the 8th house, aspected by the 8th Lord. So this can be a Marga, what is a transit for it. Or something equal, some health issues definitely come. And now Jupiter will move to the 8th house for him. Yes, Rima.
Sir, see here maybe from the Lagna it's badly placed.
Yeah.
From the Moon also 5th, Saturn is not really very great, but okay. Now he's running not a very bad dasha.
Yeah, Jupiter.
But suppose, yeah, I mean, I think Antardasha
Yeah.
also is Venus, I think, very
Venus.
one. So
Yeah.
it's protecting his Lagna.
Mm.
If it was a bad dasha and
Mm.
this scenario was there, let's say somebody was running an inimical 8th lord.
No, it will be tricky. Even
Then
now,
you
I will not say the transit is fully bad, good, very good or bad. I will not say. It is going to the 8th house from his Lagna. The only thing, Jupiter aspecting as the 5th Lord, it is good. But don't forget, Jupiter is also his 8th Lord.
8th lord. But it's a friendly 8th lord.
And in Navamsa, look at Navamsa. It is his, he has Moon and Ketu Navamsa. So it is sort of Janma Sani for him. Okay. So Saturn is actually is Janma Sani from the Navamsa aspect. So it has a mixed blend. What do you say? It has both 5th and 8th house aspect to it. So either health can take a role or Marga related experience can come during this transit. Especially when in the Pada, find out when where does Saturn move to. Saturn starts from moving from here. So maybe over Mars or over Moon, these 2 houses, or when Ashtamamsa, these places, it can be difficult.
Sir, Mars here, it's benefic, no?
Yeah, but Saturn over a malefic Mars, no, it can be good
but
for
like
other
yoga
aspects. No, it is good. That's what the Jiva Karakatvam, it is good. Ajiva Karakatvam. When malefics, what I say, it's bad for Jiva Karakatvam, but good for Ajiva Karakatvam. It is the reverse for benefics. So when Saturn goes over is Neecha, Moon, and Ketu. Or when it comes over your back, Rev the 4th pada, it is going to be 8 from its Lagna. So there are certain spots which has to be washed. And depending on what is the transit on that day. Is it some more malefics are adding, all that to be seen. And especially when Saturn, the first year, Jupiter is going to be the 8th for him. Because Saturn, for the first 1 year, but Saturn is in the 5th house, Jupiter will be in the 8th for him. Though
from the Moon.
From the Moon. So what I say, for all the Scorpio moons, Saturn in the 5th is going to be the 8th from the Moon. So it weakens Saturn's transit. Right?
The benefits. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other doubts? So this is a very important aspect of understanding a deeper aspect of every pada of transit. What does it mean? The Tarabala, the 3 nakshatra pada you will have to understand, and then you will understand where Saturn moves in each pada from the Rasi chart, not from the Navamsa. Yes, you look at also the planets in Navamsa chart as a double configuration, but predominantly look at the transit in the Deva chart. Because if you see it together and wish to give importance, you will get confused because so many planets involved. So predominantly only take the D1 chart. This is just a secondary reading take. So mostly 70%, the D1 chart will reveal everything to you. Any event when something good or bad, just look at where Saturn and Jupiter and the padas, you will very clearly an event will fix in very, very. When you had something gain, it was related to good house and good planets. When something negative happened, it is always over bad planets, it will be there. So a very important predictive secret. Yeah. Okay.
For him, this transit will be like half good, half bad, because
yes,
in
mixed.
trine,
See, after
trine-
Jupiter moves, it will be good. It will be protected. What is only until Jupiter is in the 8th house. The moment Jupiter moves to exaltation sign, it is going to be 9th from the moon. He's already he has a strong Jupiter. He won it in Jupiter, and then he wins it again in Jupiter. So what is it? But as long as Jupiter is in Gemini, is not a problem. May 15th, Jupiter will move to, but it's not negative. Though it's going to the 8th house, it is only Mercury there. So it's not fully bad, and the dispositor is in the 11th house. So it's not fully negative. But in certain quarters, when it moves, it can be bad, and you will have to check the Dasa and Antardasa. In transit, Saturn meets the Dasa Lord and Antardasa Lord, it can be very significant. Especially it goes to the 6 and 8 12 in Navamsa with the Dasa Lord and Antardasa Lord, it can be very bad. I'll give you an example. My brother-in-law, he was Kumbha Moon. Not this last 30 back when he was Saturn was in Ashtamasani, when Saturn was in Kanya, his Bhukti Lord also joined with Saturn, went to the 8th house. So his Antardasa Lord and his Ashtamasani was there, he broke his leg. So when the Antardasa Lords join Saturn in 6, 8, 12 houses, it'll like what I say, they'll both connive to give you a results. So it is very important. Saturn alone will not go. It has to conjoin with your Dasa and Antardasa Lord to give a particular results. So somewhere Saturn touches your Dasa Lord, Antardasa Lord in the Rasi. It can be in the Rasi and Navamsa. Somewhere it touches, it is like a click. What I say, it becomes active, and that will happen. So off the sign, Saturn moves. 9 houses moves. When Saturn touches your Dasa and Antardasa Lord, that Bhava will be active for you. Same way it is for Jupiter. This is a very big thing. I can have a full class only explaining to you this aspect with because I have to explain with at least 50 example charts. Yeah.
like, sir, I wanted to ask you here. Right now, he in like an example chart, I'm saying, in D1 chart, is not meeting the Saturn with the Dasha Lord. But if in D9, if he is sitting with Dasha,
Saturn is year now. Now Saturn will move from year to year. So definitely Saturn in these 9 houses, it will meet the Dasa Lord and Antardasa. Only these 3 houses, Saturn is not going to touch. So for everybody, Saturn is going to touch from Cancer in the D1. Don't forget about the answer. From the Cancer to it will touch. So somewhere for everybody, Saturn is going to touch the Dasa and Antardasa Lord. So when he touches the Dasa and Antardasa Lord, whichever Bhava that houses will become active and will become important. Though I'm just telling you this, what is it, when it touches your Antardasa and conjoins with your which Bhava your Dasa and Antardasa Lord, that Bhava will become active and you will start getting results of that Bhava. See, for him, when it comes where Jupiter is your Dasa Lord. Now this is Antardasa Lord. So this will be his Dasa Lord. So these two will be very, very important apart from the other houses. Or it can meet his Dasa and Antardasa, it can conjoin in transit. Saturn can conjoin with it. Whenever Saturn, where Saturn is, or the Pada Saturn transits, your Dasa or Antardasa conjoins, it connects somewhere. For any event to happen, the Dasa and Antardasa must connect with Saturn to give results. These are many secrets when an event will get activated. I'm just giving you all hints, so you pick it up and understand it very much. Okay.